Hey everybody, Charlie92 here, and welcome back to Disco Elysium, the final cut. It's been a while since I've last played, probably, well, at least a week. Had to catch up on some other games for some other series, getting a little bit behind because I binged this game straight because I was so interested in it. So I've been waiting and waiting to get back into it. Now, the downside of that is kind of gentrified a little bit on what we've been doing here. I watched the last episode to try to catch back up. We're looking for Ruby, but I'm also going to pull out my journal here and see what I can see. So, well, we don't have a ton of tasks here. We got to ask about Ruby in the fishing village. We got to determine where the shot came from. Now, I know we went to Land's End. I tried to check the boardwalk. I don't know if I went to the right place or not. And I don't know how to get to the island. We need to confront the pigs and get our gun back. That's right. So Evart told us that this lady who is known as the Pigs is the one who purchased our gun, and we're going to try to get it back. We got to confront them at 2200. So we got a couple things near the village and fish market. Offer figurines to Dolores Day. I don't know how to do that. Buy fallen pants from Kuno. Run the number on the victim's armor. Okay. Okay. And another thing, I didn't notice all of this stuff over here. All right, so good cop, bad cop, 20. Honor of 1. Moralist of 11. Looks like we're heading towards moral and ultra-liberal. We're also pretty high in communist and fascist as well. I wonder if these are choices that are labeled as these underlined, like the ultra-liberal choice, the fascist choice, the communist choice, and whatnot. I wonder if these are total number of choices we've made, or if it's a plus and minus type thing. Maybe choosing an ultra-liberal choice may reduce a fascist, and who knows. We are a superstar cop of 2. We are 0 apocalypse cop. We are 9 sorry cop, and that means the person who apologizes. And we're 5 boring cop. Woof. I don't want to be boring. Maybe we should make some more interesting choices. All right, with that being said, looks like we have to head towards the coast to inquire about Ruby. Now, over here, Wasteland of Reality is almost done. White Morning and Apricot Chewing Gum Scented one. Do we have a level up? It looks like we do. I want to hold on to level ups in case we need them to pass a check, but we may internalize another thought. Oh, we're looking dapper too. We're looking like a cop with a fisherman hat on. All right, so we're going to head to the coast. Let me see what time it is too. I don't know how far into the day we are. I think it's what, Friday? It is Friday. Oh, we got a sense here.
You think you have a pretty hot suspect right now, don't you? That Ruby of yours?
Yeah, and?
Notice how it came together without casting too much suspicion on Clasia. It was nice and Ruby-centric in the end.
No, I 100% agree. Clasia is not out of my suspect list. What do you mean?
Anything strike you a bit off about this mishmash?
Footprints in the pinball workshop didn't fit with the Odd Souls prints on the crime scene.
No, they didn't.
No one has mentioned hearing a shot.
Notice how this hasn't come up at all. Even Hardy and his boys didn't mention it. Neither did you.
The bullet didn't have to come from the roof. It could have come from anywhere on the coast. See, we didn't... Well, there was no way we could rule that out because I don't know how to get to the island yet. Maybe there's a way, I just don't know it.
Absolutely. It could have come from anywhere, but you're suddenly so certain it came from the roof behind the window.
Okay.
That's right. Finish thought. Just finish it and conveniently go on. She's watching you leave right now, you know that. Free as a bird on that roof, lighting up a cigarette and thinking, am I glad Ruby's in this shit and not me?
Okay, so she's not 100% free. We chose the middle ground with issuing a summons to her, I believe. I don't know what to call it in this game, but she is to report to the police office in, I think, in a couple weeks And if she doesn't, she will be a fugitive. Now, she's saying she's already a fugitive, so I don't know how much of a punishment that would be to her. But Kim seemed to be quite pleased with the outcome, rather than just straight arresting her outright. We also, I don't think we have enough proof to actually arrest her for anything yet.
Don't listen to this guy. The theory was solid. He's just jealous. Move on. It's no use harassing her further.
No, Volition's not wrong, but it also doesn't mean that Ruby didn't do it either. All right, so where are we going to head? It is... Man, it's almost 5 p.m. He's mad at us. Let's run. So Ruby's the one we want to talk to. So yeah, we're gonna head to the Fisher Village. That's the strongest lead we have right now. We still need to, learn what the Pale is so that we can form an opinion. Ah, that's the other thing. Let's check these checks. I forgot about this on the map. So yeah, there's the stained glass window. Challenging. Wash basin to cut off our mustache. Kuno, we gotta empathize with him to kind of figure out what his father's done to him. Annette, I forget what the suggestion was for her. Tommy Lehome, that will never pass. He's mad at us for making him talk about his friend. Sleeping dock worker's not there, so I don't know how we can redo that one. The mirror, I think that's to stop making the expression. Impossible. Barred door. I don't know how we can do this one again when we've already circumvented the barred door. Gaston Martin, I think that was... Is that to eat a sandwich? Map wall, that was to still it, so we've already done that. I don't know why that's here. Maybe that's why these are at the bottom? Maybe these cannot be done again. Joyce measure volition. I think that was to ask her for money. We can't do the hanged man. This one. Okay, so they're not in order where we can't do them. This one is the one I want to do. Godly logic. We need to know what the Pale is in order to form a theory or hypotheses on that ball of nothingness. Barbell, we could pick that up. I don't see a point. Church doors are already open. A cell, I don't remember what this is. We'll talk to her and double check that. The net picker, I think this is to go on a date with her. I don't see a point in that either. And Clage, something with shivers with her. Don't know off the top of my head. All right. Enough of that. Let's continue on. Let's zoom out. Every once in a while, hit tab. I don't see the phasmid. We can sleep there. There's the net picker. We're supposed to ask around the fishing village, so let's start with her. We're gonna ask about Ruby. Oh, wait a minute. Is Joyce here?
Calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer?
Nothing. Hold on. That's Joyce, right? Joyce, what are you doing?
I'll just keep the Corda Lacey in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier.
Are you talking to us? She winds the mooring line around a post.
Aye, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way.
She's talking to Lillian. Okay.
Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to a pier any day. Jetty.
Are you okay, Joyce?
Something about the way she says it makes you want to sing.
I said I wanted to be more interesting, so let's sing. Today, Jetty.
Oh, jetty, oh, jetty.
What is going on? She responds mournfully.
It's good to see you here, detectives. I only just arrived myself.
Why are you here?
What brings you here, madame?
He took the words out of my mouth, Kim.
Nothing really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps, as far as I can tell.
Okay.
That. And she's also keeping an eye on you.
Have you been spying on us?
Spying has such a negative connotation. I did track your progress along the coast, however, and decided I would be better able to assist you from here.
Now, I like Joyce, but I feel like we're made to like Joyce. I feel like she's hiding something, and that's why she comes off as so trustworthy, even though she may not be. We do know that she's here to represent the Wild Pines' best interests, and of course, so she's going to be very versed in like legalese and negotiation. So this is probably a byproduct of that. Let's continue talking to her.
Then there's the matter of that little scamp in old lady clothes. She threatened to paint the cordelate she read. Like blood, you see. Well, I like it the way it is. White.
So she's talking about the Skulls girl. So how do you like it here?
How do I like it?
She cast her gaze toward the village. Slush melting on the cinder blocks, construction work left half-finished 10 years ago.
Water drips down eaves of Eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune.
So, it says the jetty creaks. I thought a jetty was a body of water, but is that referring to the dock? Is the dock a jetty? I suddenly realize how little I know of jetties.
The smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
That doesn't smell pleasant, does it?
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name. All the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there?
Why, yes, it's mine. She squints her eyes. Pornographically poor. That we use that term as well. Is that... Are we using similar terms because we're of similar age? And we're from, like, you know, the slang of our youth is what we're used to, and maybe this is a turn of phrase from then? Or is that just like a well-known thing to say something that's pornographically poor?
I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will. You should ask your questions while you can.
We should.
Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Dull grey metal rests in her scabbard. A sword. The wind is too loud for her to hear.
Fortunately for you, madame, the RCM is on the scene.
We're here.
All right. Politics time. Let's react.
You're right to be scared. This is all your fault. You're in no danger. The working class have no idea what's happening to them. Oh, okay, so superiority. Try not to be scared. This is just how the real city looks. This place is doomed either way. Or say nothing. Let's just say 3. This is how actual people live. Not uber rich, such as yourself.
Oh, I'm not frightened, officer. I'd never...
She leans against the railing, looking up at the gray sky.
Above you, there forms a quilt of altocumulus clouds, twisting into each other. The wind tugs and stretches them over the bay. Their cloud shadows slide over the ruins of Revachol West. Wherever they pass, the temperature drops slightly, but perceptibly.
Do you know how they discovered this place?
The wind picks up, her raincoat flaps in the gust. This island or the fishing village? Let's go with the fishing village.
No, they're in Sealindian, Isla.
And that's our island that we're on, right? Okay, well, let's ask.
I'm guessing you don't know then.
No, I don't know how they discovered it.
Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty.
45% is around where I operate. Things are getting better, though. Say nothing. None of these two seem to fit. Say nothing.
It's a pity. Most of these people will never know what this place means, this island of matter, or why they were ferried over in the first place.
What? Never know what this place means. Are you referring to the church? The innocence significance here? And clearly who built the church knew that there was something specific in that spot that they needed to contain. And why were these people ferried over here in the first place? I thought it was just like a class thing, the haves and the have-nots, and let's send all the poor and undesirables over to this side.
Remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location?
Tell me now.
Do we?
I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. This is cause for cautious optimism. I would not want to delay you.
No, we're fine.
Maybe there is something else I can assist you with while you're hot in pursuit.
Tattoos, Evart, boat, wild pines, strike at the harbor, lynching, boat you're on. I kind of want to check for branches within these. Tattoos, I don't think there's anything. We have been dealing with Everard again. Let's check this out.
Oh?
Oh yeah, this is a takeover.
A takeover?
Yeah, it's not a strike. You aren't being let in because there's nothing to negotiate. The Union is taking the terminal. He has told me so in his own words. He's taken it. He'll also use the drug trade to finance the harbor. Yes, he has said that.
Taking it?
She looks toward the colorful mountain of crates, like toy blocks rising above Martinez.
Green livery, changing into red, blot by blot.
Yeah, by, what was his name? Leo was painting them.
Like a cancer of the blood, metastasizing.
Then we're talking about a war. Everard needs to let me into the harbor at once. We need to talk about this.
He's ready for a war. They all are. They've been preparing for this. You're just a pawn in their game right now.
They most certainly are not. Crenell has 1,000 men on their payroll. The next batch will be a platoon of 20 men and a gunship.
I kind of want to see the gunship. But I don't want the city of Martinez to be leveled over a power struggle.
I've seen the Union's forces. They are better organized than these mercenaries. They also have the support of the people of Revachol
Oh,
West.
Kim coming in with the support.
It will take more than Crenell to wipe them out. Wild Pines will need to send more and better equipped men. Make no mistake, ma'am. I am sure you have the money. The question is, how many years and how many lives are you willing to sacrifice?
What do you suggest I do?
Oh, God. I opened up a can of worms. First, will this affect your decision-making process? It's not the RCM's job to make these decisions. The workers should have the harbor. Cut off the snake's head. Everett's pushing all of this. That's true. It's a bluff. Call it. Have them open fire and see how long they last. No, that's not good. Bring in everything you have and wipe them from the face of the earth. Look at your risk. It's apocalypse o'clock. Time to commence the gloaming. What is the gloaming? I wish there was a disco option. You know what? I do wish there was a disco option. That's why I tried to make the Church of Hypnotic Dance Music Club. So we can all just be changed by music. Should we hit the disco option? We're hitting the disco option. It said we were born. We're going to be less boring. Disco.
I'm afraid we won't disco our way out of this one.
She says with considerable regret. Okay, we need to kill Evart.
Like the previous leaders of the Union were assassinated. I suspect by Everard and Edgar themselves. I admit there's some poetry in the idea, and like poetry, it's also useless. There would still be Edgar. They factored it in. The Union is them, and they are Martinez.
That's a good point. Edgar's there to take his place. So what are you going to do then?
What will I do?
She says, slowly looking around.
Her arms fall to her sides. Her spine relaxes.
Did I ever tell you how they discovered this Isola? During our talks?
You said you would one day.
It may be the only break we've ever caught as a species. The last one for 400 years.
400 years. Okay, they discovered this island.
The nations who colonized this isla called theirs Muindi, the world. It was all they knew, all they thought would be. That there would be something more was a gamble, akin to another world, or life after death.
So it's like this was the new world. They didn't realize that this island existed and they found it. But for them, it was kind of world shaking because they thought everything they already knew was the world and that this just kind of opened it up. Was there life here when they discovered it?
The Pale was thought to be impregnable, perpetual. Irene la Navigateur, the Queen of Suren, sent 8 expeditions, one after the other, into the mass at the edge of the world. 5 of the crews did not return. 2 did, but had lost their minds.
Oh, hold on a second, lady. You said the Pale. That's what we need to understand in order to form a theory on that mass of nothingness. Then you said 8 expeditions went into the edge of the world. What does that mean? 5 of the crews did not return. 2 did, but they had lost their minds. Are we getting Lovecraftian here? Edge of the world. Is this another planet? Did they go through the Pale? Is the Pale space? Or is it like a Stargate? Is it Pale some sort of like dimensional travel or time travel? 5 of the crews did not return. 2 did, but lost their mind. 8, is that a normal number?
It was anything but normal. There was no precedent. People thought she was punishing the admirals, or had gone mad, or both.
How so? Why did they think that they were being punished?
Until after years of trial and error, and the development of a strict psychological regime imitating the creation process of poetry.
Okay. Hold on. We're getting out there. Psychological regime, a strict psychological regime imitating the creation process of poetry. Years after of trial and error. Strict psychological regime. So they had to pass through the Pale, or the end of the world, which wrought psychological horror or did psychological damage to these ships, or whatever they were. They may not even been ships. To these expeditions, 8 of them. And once they developed a regime imitating the creation process of poetry, were they able to maintain sanity? Is that almost like with Alzheimer's and dementia patients, where if they learn completely new, well, let's go further back. So say there's like a ballerina, right? An old school ballerina. She's in her 80s. She has Alzheimer's or dementia. If she learns new dances, it doesn't really help her. But if she learns how to do, something different, like woodworking, a completely new skill that helps their brain stay functional and healthy, or healthier at least. Is that what she means by a psychological regime imitating the creation process of poetry? I don't know. Let's see. Tell us more.
Called Volta Doma, or Return from the Sea.
So it's the sea. So they had to be on ships, but they had to go through something called the Pale that caused psychological damage. Return from the sea.
The 8th expedition returned sane and intact. They told of a new continent of matter. They told the Queen and her counselor, Dolores Day, that the Pale had begun to condense, day after day. Hour after hour, minute after minute.
What? Eighth expedition return, they were sane. And they were intact, meaning I guess other ones were not intact? A new continent of matter. She didn't say land. She didn't say sea. Is she talking about like a planetoid? But in a continent form? So I guess it would be all of the, yeah, land and sea. So like a floating continental shelf? Maybe not floating, but strange. Told the queen and her counselor, spelled weird, Dolores Day. Now that's the apricot lady who's also like the big innocence in the church over there. And we have some type of personal connection to her. That the pale had begun to condense. And the pale is this zone or area that they have to pass through. Or maybe it's even, if it condensed, maybe it's some type of gas or vapor or fog. Day after day, hour after hour, minute after minute. So it's condensing. All right, continue with your crazy line of talking.
Slowly raining down until it formed a vast ocean.
Slowly raining down until it formed an ocean. So it was a cloud?
The air is cold and scented with petrichor.
I don't know what petrichor is.
There are rain circles on water all around. Humidity crawls up your back like a piano trill.
Put your hand in the rain.
So does the lieutenant. His mouth is slightly open as he looks to the sky. The droplets feel warm, like spring rain.
This ocean?
The phenomenon has never again been encountered. For a time, the crew thought they were experiencing a hallucination. The mass hand proclaimed, "Lancielend, Lancielend," the signal to wake up.
Signal to wake up? From hallucination? Like mass group hallucination? Where they share the same hallucination?
But they could not. They were sane and conscious, as islands began to appear on the horizon. There are 78,000 uninhabited islands in the Insulindian archipelago, officer. The freckled face of God.
Oh, 78,000 uninhabited islands. Insulindian archipelago. So that's this current Isola, right? That was discovered by the Mwindi a long time ago. The one that we currently live on has 78,000 uninhabited islands. So there's like other dimensions, or other Isolas as they call them. Are they like this as well? Do they look the same? Do they have different land masses? Or is the matter even the same matter we have here?
You've thought it a million times.
After life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. Hold on. So just as you die, you are reborn. So the world, or at least our concept of the world, transfers to the pale, as in that's like the death state of the world. After the pale, then the world is whole again. Pale. Is the pale just like antimatter? And the world is matter? Because she used that word. She said this Isola of matter. She didn't say this Isola of land, of water. She said matter. So is the pale just nothingness? But how can it condense and rain down? I don't know. Let's keep listening. Let's say this, though. Conceptualization, that was a decent pass. Afterlife, death, after death, life, after the world, the pale, after the pale, the world again.
A total shift in human comprehension of reality. On the second day, a great skua was shot down above the flagship Lysergique. The bird was preserved and brought back, along with pollen.
So she's talking about this expedition that went and found this Isola. They shot down a great skua. That is the bird that Garth was trying to mend, the one that was stuffed at the beginning that we broke. Did we break it because it was a great skua? It was preserved and brought back. Was that the one? No way. Why would it be in Garth's bar? Maybe that's like a symbol of this Isola because that's what they brought back.
4 years later, the Queen's Counsellor was proclaimed Her Innocence Dolores Day, the elected world spirit. The age of humanism, internationalism, and parliamentary rule followed. We were high.
Okay. We're going to have a think on this, and we'll continue this next episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy my content, please consider a like, a comment, and or a subscribe. Stay tuned for the next episode. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.